The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary-related entertainment.
Aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes, where each week you will find us talking story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out how they're working to support those with needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's cabinet and appliance showroom located in the Waikapu Bay Shard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. For those of you who may be listening for the first time to this weekly show, during the hour we share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they're changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those in need. We talk about that week after week after week. This week, we're going to talk a little bit about something that's not a need, but it certainly does make the holidays more enjoyable for lots and lots of children. We're going to be talking today with Makana Rossetti, who is the Community Impact Coordinator for Maui United Way, and with Paul Tonneson, who's the Executive Director of Friends of the Children's Justice Center. They've created a collaboration to go out and collect toys for how many children do you think you're going to serve this year?
Well, I would say probably well over 1,600. Easily.
The need is there.
In Maui County.
The need is definitely there.
The need is there, unfortunately.
Okay, so who wants to start? Now, you've both had your own toy drives or gift drives. Now, I'm saying toy drives. This is primarily toys.
Toys, yes.
Okay, we're not talking clothing or hygiene things or anything. Strictly toys.
Strictly toys, and Makana and I have been working on a collaboration that we just started this year with the Friends in Maui United Way. One thing about Maui, the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association has all the members of various nonprofits, which is a great asset because we can share amongst the executive directors. And out of a conversation with Locks last year from United Way, we talked about struggles and areas of opportunities with the toy drives. And when we sat down and had a meeting together with Makana, we figured out if we joined forces with them, no child is going to go without a toy this Christmas. And that's huge.
That's your promise.
That's a promise.
That's a promise.
That is a child in need, let's say.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
We'll have the whole island lined up for toys at Maui United Way.
No, but the in need is the key word for sure. You mentioned Locks a minute ago when you were talking. Locks Abraham, who is the CEO, Chief Professional Officer for Maui United Way, was just named, a month ago, the Executive Director or CEO of the Year for the Maui Nonprofit Directors. And an honor well deserving for her. She has been doing this, 10, 11 years now as the CEO?
15.
Well, she was there as an employee prior.
Worked her way up.
And worked her way up to being the Chief Professional Officer.
And President.
And President. So, Locks, shout out to you. Congratulations. And to everyone out there. And also seated in the room here, Paul Tonneson, who was just speaking, won that award last year with the nonprofit directors.
Had to turn the reins over to a well-deserving individual.
And this year, his punishment is he has to serve as president of the organization. No, that's not the way it works. I don't know if it's an accolade or a punishment. But he is the president, so fitting that he should work with Maui United Way and try to put this together. I think there's a little bit of background that we maybe want to put out there that, as you said, the nonprofit directors are always trying to be cooperative and coordinate things when possible for every agency. Makes the load a little lighter for each agency and covers the territory, which is the bottom line. This stemmed from a conversation, right?
Correct. Just a conversation. It was brought up. There are a lot of toy drives, and people were, Mike Victorino was one of them, and he goes, why all these toy drives? Can't you guys get together? And it just put a bug in my ear. And when Lux and I had a conversation about it, because the discussion was at the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association annual December meeting. So, after the holidays, we had a conversation, and we just sat down and started strategizing a little bit. We got Makana here involved with it. And we figured out that if we join forces, we're going to have a much more bigger impact in Maui County. You want to touch on that a little bit, Makana, from the meetings?
Yeah, I think because Paul comes from just him controlling Friends of the Children's Justice Center, I'm able to take on the holiday toy drive basically as my only really task for this time of year. So I'm able to get all the toys sorted and definitely be able to distribute them to the agencies, and definitely try and get them there faster because they do have to, wrap the toys and everything. So
Right, and the donations, the acceptance boxes that you have out in the community, you've already got that chain set up
yes,
because you've been doing it that way for years.
right. So we decorate the boxes for our drop-off locations. And so one of the main ones is Pacific Media Group. They have a PSA kind of thing that they do, an ad that they put out there for us. So we have that running. So we're expecting to get a lot of toys from that location. And we're excited to have Shops at Wailea on there now.
That's a new one, right?
That's a new one. And they're going to have 4 boxes there. So we're excited about that.
Will those be out in the general area?
General area, just kind
mall
of spread
area.
out throughout the mall.
Yeah, they have that little food grocery type store. I forget what they call it, that they added on. So they're going to have them in key spots throughout the mall, which is nice.
You can tell we're not Wailea people.
I know.
We don't-
now that they charge for parking,
a lot of other people aren't either. Gotcha. Okay, and then the usual places, you've got the Ben Franklin Crafts.
Yep, that's our pretty much only location in the mall. So we are expecting to get a lot from
Okay.
that location.
In Queen Kahumanu Center.
Queen Kahumanu
Okay.
Center, yes.
And then you've got the hardware, Ace?
Ace Hardware. So we have 2 locations in Kihei. We have the Hawaii National Bank in Kihei, and then also the Ace Hardware there as well. So we're pretty much spread out. We also have one location in Lahaina, which is the Ace Hardware there. And then we have one at the Pukalani Ace Hardware and the Simplicity HR by Ultras in Pukalani as well.
Cool. I see Habitat for Humanity Maui on here.
Yep, Habitat will have their own box there in the Restore. So
Okay.
we have that location in Wailuku, as well as the County of Maui, Mayor Arakawa's office as well.
Up in his office. Great.
Yeah.
So this is now. When are the boxes there now? Are they going to be going out this weekend?
The boxes are all out.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we're accepting donations until December 11th.
Okay. Now, is there a I know there's an age kind of from 11 to 16 years old. Are the people who are going to be getting the gifts?
Basically,
true?
it ranges from 0
Oh.
to
Okay. Most needed for 11 to
Yeah,
16.
yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we tend to get more of donations for like
The younger
3
ones.
to 5. Yeah, the younger ones, because they are easier to purchase those kind of toys. So 11
To
through 16 is mostly, we like to give them gift cards so they're able to purchase
okay.
their own. Yeah.
If I for the first time want to go and purchase something to put in a box, what kind of a price range should I be looking at?
I would say 10 to 15.
Yeah,
10 to
it
20.
averages $10 to $20 retail. So you can go to Ross and buy a nice $30 gift for $11. I mean, the child's still getting a nice retail,
Right.
just on a retail basis. So
Okay. But gift cards, what are the most popular gift cards?
A lot of Walmart. We're expecting to get a lot of Target this year since we do have the Target.
we just got
Yeah.
150 gift cards from Target yesterday.
Ooh.
That'll be going out.
As gifts?
As gift, $20 gift cards the
Wow.
children get. The teens are very hard to buy for.
Yeah.
Especially when they're becoming independent once they hit the 12, 13 years old. So younger children are easier if you give them certain types of gifts.
Right.
But so we're trying to focus on just giving them a $20 gift card.
So this was Target's donation.
This was
No?
Friends of the Children's Justice donation that we received donations throughout the year. We went out and purchased them.
Okay.
And they're not happy when you walk in and ask for $150, $20 gift cards because it literally takes a long time for someone to sit there one by one and do them.
Yeah.
Does that mean we should order them?
I walked in, I gave them the check, and I said, call me when they're ready,
Yeah.
which, just to be fair to them,
Right.
because I don't want to hold up their time. And they did. They processed them through the day, and we picked them up last night.
Cool.
And McConnell will get them today.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Okay. Now, the boxes are going to be out there how long?
Till December 11th, I'm gonna do a pick up all the boxes December 11th because I do have a deadline for these agencies of December 17th.
Okay, so some of the agencies have Christmas parties,
Right.
and that's when they give out the gifts.
Yeah. So I do have them indicate on their request form if they need it before that date, and then we'll do our very best to get the toys to them by their Christmas party.
Okay.
Because we have to get toys over to Lanai, Molokai. So thank God for Maui Police Department, because some of the officers that are stationed there and coming back to see the families or whatever offered to bring them over for us,
Cool.
which makes it really easy. And
Yeah.
then they just bring them down to the police station, and whatever agency is able to come and pick them up, which is
Neat.
nice.
Neat. So some of the agencies these are your partner agencies at United Way, and these are the same folks that you give money to during the year.
Right.
As part of your program. What kind of agencies are we talking about, or can you name a few of them?
So we have 37 partner agencies. Some of the ones that really benefit from the toy drive are Big Brothers Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Club, Women Helping Women. We also have Child and Family Service, Maui Family Support Services, so Maui Farm as well. So
Wow,
get the toys.
cover the
Yeah.
territory.
really, and that's only to name a few. Yeah.
Now people can also give directly to those agencies.
Yep, they're welcome
This
to
this
do that.
does not cut that out.
No,
Okay, so if they have a relationship with the agency, they can go ahead and give.
definitely.
And then, but those who don't have a relationship and just want to give, now can they identify what agency they'd like for their gift to
they
go
could
to?
definitely do that. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just fill out the request forms so I can make sure that gift goes directly to that agency.
Yeah, well, I think what happens too is, like, I sit on a board of another nonprofit, and they've chose Women Helping Women every year to benefit from a toy drive, so they have a dinner/toy drive event. And I think just the collaboration with Maui United Way, and now with the Friends getting involved with them, is just, it's so much easier to have a central place, and it takes a lot of pressure because, as you know, Susie, and everyone in the nonprofit world, you're short-staffed, and when something like this, it's a big project to take on. If you don't have someone focused on it, your job still goes on.
Right.
So either you're going to do an extra 20 hours a week, or, thank God we have Makana here.
Right.
This is going to be her focus for a month.
And she's smiling all the way
I
through
know.
it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
For now, it's fun.
Get to play with toys all day.
Wouldn't you love to see the looks on some of the kids' faces when they get these?
Yeah, sometimes we do get individual requests that come in, and so we're willing to help anyone in need. So if they're willing to come in and pick up the toys, we know they really need the toys. So that's when we really get to see the interaction with the kids. And we do also a school supplies drive. So we had a few families come in, and their faces just light up. They're so excited. So I'm excited to give toys out to the individuals. Yeah.
That's a fun job.
Yeah, very rewarding.
When all through the year you're working to try to help in various ways, and this is kind of like the culmination.
Yeah.
Here's the big one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what kinds of we talked a little bit about what kinds of gifts. Actually, let's save that for right after the break. Let's take a break.
Aloha, this is Paul from Pacific Source. We'd like to wish everyone the happiest of holidays and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and Lock and Tina folding doors. Maybe you can give your home a holiday gift that you'll love. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380 or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, talking story with, who am I talking to? I'm so excited about the gifts. I want to see the box full of all kinds of neat toys for the girls and boys out there that have had a rough year, and this is just a little bright spot in their lives this year. Makana Rossetti, who is the Community Impact Coordinator for Maui United Way, and Lox is going to be thrilled because I've said Maui United Way, I think, each time this time. I always, for some reason, do Aloha United Way because I was on Oahu for 20 years before being here. So anyway, and with Paul Tonneson of the Friends of the Children's Justice Center, talking about the annual toy drive that they have joined forces to get gifts for approximately, they think, 1,600 children for this season. During the break, we were kind of talking a little bit about the kinds of gifts, and they're toys. Okay, but toys is a whole different string of things nowadays than it used to be. I mean, it used to be Lincoln Logs and stuff like that. Oh, does that go back too far? Whoa.
They still make them.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah? But we're talking about all kinds of gadgets, and you said anything from Frozen. And I'm going, Frozen? Why would somebody want a Frozen toy? Okay, I don't know the movie. Is it a Disney or
It's a Disney movie about two different princesses. So they have toys for both dolls, and they have makeup sets, and the girls go crazy
And
over
then they
that.
have Olaf,
Olaf.
what all the boys like, so they have things with Olaf.
Okay, okay, so where I obviously don't go shopping in the right places either. So where would one go to get a toy like that?
You can get those anywhere. Walmart, Target, they have them.
They're everywhere.
Yeah,
They're everywhere. Okay, obviously they don't have them online. The two places I go to. Oh, I'm terrible. Oh, I should be a secret shopper.
Mm-hmm.
There is one thing though. Just keep in mind when you're buying the toys. A lot of these children have been exposed to a lot of violence, and we try to stay away from giving them guns or any type of let's call it an aggressive toy. Something more friendly. Not knocking guns, but we just that's a lot of things that we've always put on our list as just not appropriate for a kid that just got out of a domestic violence situation or something like that.
Right, that makes sense. Well, and there are so many other great toys. You were talking about the makeup and stuff and things for was it two princesses?
Yeah.
In that show?
Yeah.
And of course, that's what the girls' ages, what?
I would say 6 to 8. They like to play with those kind of, even younger.
Yeah.
It seems like makeup is going younger and younger nowadays just to play around with.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I was listening to something on the radio earlier this morning. They were talking about makeup and said how girls go from playing with it to getting so serious about it. Mm-hmm. They can't leave their room until they're fully made up. And some people want to look made up, and some people want to look natural with their makeup, right? And so starting at 6 or 5 or 4, okay.
Yep.
And there are other locations for pickup too.
Okay.
Because Whole Foods does a table, Friends of the Children's Justice Center table. So they will keep that up until right before Christmas. And then the Hansons, I don't know if Hanson's Realty, they do a drive and they hold it at their Wailea office. And they also hold a big party for the Friends, which is coming up, which all the realtors come together, and their cost to get into the party is a gift for a child. And they generally bring in about I think last year was 320 some odd gifts alone, not counting gift cards. So that's a huge dent the Hanson family does every year, and they've been doing this for a long, long time. So,
Wow. And that'll go into this combined
yep.
effort here.
And then Wailuku Coffee Company right up the street, they have a box out, and they keep it up pretty much throughout a couple of days before Christmas Eve, because there is last minute request. Because if you get children removed from a home December 21st, the Friends will get a call from Child Welfare Service and say, we got 5 kids, they have nothing. So we always keep a little on hand to fill a last minute request.
Wow, that's terrific. Right up to almost the last minute.
We've done them on Christmas Eve day.
Yeah.
So
Wow. So, okay, I'm still trying to wrap myself around the kinds of presents. If I were going out, and I imagine some people do this. They say, okay, I want to give $100 worth of presents. And so that's going to be anywhere from 5 to 10 gifts, right? And I want to be, some people will buy all the same thing. Some people really want to go shopping for this. Have you heard stories from people who enjoy a day of shopping to put toys in the gift bins?
I know my mom used to buy toys for, well, now that I'm older, it's not with me, but she'd buy at the same age as me and my brother. That way she knows what they like or could like. So that's another way of doing it as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, like same as your kids or your cousins or your nephews and
grandkids,
nieces,
yeah.
grandkids, whatever. That's a good point. Yeah, because obviously I have no idea, no frame of reference for going out and buying, because I'm not around kids at all. A lot of people say I'm still a kid, but I don't play with those kinds of toys, so I don't know, but you also kind of have to watch out. Like you don't want to buy DVDs,
no,
things like
they
that,
won't have a
because they're not
DVD
going to be able
player.
to play it.
Right, right.
So you have to stay away from some electronics things, or anything that has a membership that you have to pay for with it or something.
Right.
So we're talking pretty basic toys.
Like what did we get from Emmanuel Lutheran? Gave us a truckload and a carload the other day but the good thing about when there's school-age children, even though the parents are buying, they have children. So every year Emmanuel Lutheran does a big drive, and we literally overstuffed the truck and jammed my SUV. But so there's always like the top, whatever's the most popular gifts, because I think they probably get input from their children of what their children want for Christmas, so why they're out shopping.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
so like what kind of things would you find in that?
A lot of craft stuff for girls.
Oh, okay.
They like to make bracelets. It's like, what would you say, Makana? 7 to 10,
I would say
7 to 12.
6 to 8, 9 to
That's right,
13,
yeah. So, stuff like that. It always seems, for some reason, craft stuff for girls.
Right.
Because they can do it with friends and make it together and
Right.
stuff like that. It's not
Make bracelets and
Yep.
necklaces and
Yeah.
things.
so.
Interesting.
And the boys is more arts, and I've also seen more music stuff too.
Oh, really? Like,
I opened one of the friends' donation boxes, and there was ukuleles in there.
wow.
Yeah, very generous people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scooter. There was a lot of
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And there
Yeah.
are children that ask for that stuff because the kid might not be into sports, but he's into playing the ukulele. So,
Interesting.
and again,
Now-
people buy what they think. Oh,
Right.
I'm into music, right?
Right.
So,
And things they're familiar with.
Yeah.
So you have a list from the children as well, or from the agencies, as to what the children's needs or wants are.
Yeah, there's a area where they can put the request of what kind of gifts. So most of them do fill it out, so it does make it easier.
Right.
even if we don't have the donations there, we can always, if we do have the gift cards, we can go out and buy that type of gift for them as well.
I see. Now, if somebody wants to just give you the cash so that you can go buy something,
Yep.
how would they go about doing that? They're not going to drop it in a box.
No, they can bring it to the Maui United Way office, or I know Pacific Media Group does a good way of tracking
Oh, okay.
the money as well. Yeah.
Okay. Or they can send a check to your
Or
office.
they can send a check, yep.
And your office address is?
We're 270 Ho'okahi Street, Suite 301 in Wailuku.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the Wailuku Industrial Park.
Wailuku Industrial
Right
Park.
at the beginning of it.
Right. The road that connects Lower Main to Sac and Save. That's how I explain it every time.
There you go. That's a good safe
And
way to do
people
it.
are generous with donations. I mean, again, this is a collaboration between the Friends and United Way. The Friends got in over $9,700 in donations last year. So anyone that's been supporting the Friends knows that it's going to go to a good cause. So we just got checks that would go into the box and the gifts to the Friends every year, because we've been doing this for 25 years. I think we have the longest history here of doing these toy drives.
Right.
So
is there a possibility that you have extra at the end of the Christmas season?
yes,
Okay.
and that's how you start your next season.
Oh, okay.
So anything that's last minute, because there are always last minute shoppers.
Right.
So, and they do want to make a difference in a life. And so what we do is we box them up, put them in storage, and then when we're starting the new year, it's easy to be able to not worrying about what's coming in, but to have a little bit of a surplus to start filling the requests right away. And that's what Makana and I have been working on.
Yep.
Cool. Very good. Very good. So now the agencies, because this takes the load off of them to have their own fund or toy drive, will count on you to handle all of the arrangements for this.
Yep.
And so the best thing, if somebody, like you're talking about Women Helping Women, if somebody wants to give something to Women Helping Women, should they call Women Helping Women or should they call you?
I would say they could do both, really, but we ensure that gifts get to them anyway. So sometimes it's easier for them to just contact us, but really it's really up to them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
You should be the first point of contact
Well, the thing is,
because you've got the system worked out.
right, again, for the nonprofits, it's taken a lot of pressure off, because I know like Ann Lutnecker would put in 40 hours a week for a whole month, and she had all her little elves. It's a big undertaking to try to keep track of everything. And again, that's where, collaborating with, all the partners with the Maui United Way and all that, it's sort of centralized. There's a list, and then, they can go on with their jobs and say, okay, we got to pick up on December 6th. We've got all the toys together on a list. And people are going to just give to the charity of choice anyways.
Right.
That always happens. But I think this collaboration here between the Friends and United Way is just going to strengthen it.
Right.
I like I say, there's not going to have to be a no this year.
Right.
Which is good, because
Yeah.
they did struggle last year with toys, and that's why the Friends came in. We didn't,
Right.
because of the longevity and history, and people know they're staying on the islands, because some people do collect toys and they go off island.
Okay. That would be a good question for people to ask if they're thinking about their favorite nonprofit and they want to give toys. To ask that question: do all these toys stay on Maui?
Correct. More of the national organizations, all these stay in Maui County. So like I
Right.
said earlier, they go to Molokai and Lanai.
Lanai.
So that's really important to know, that they are making a difference in the community you're in.
Right. Interesting. So you have a pretty good feel for how many toys you need, because the agencies have given you the list of the wants.
Well, they still have technically to December 2nd.
Okay.
So
So they can keep adding.
It's usually, they can still add, yeah, and they also, a lot of them will give it to me on December 2nd.
Oh, okay,
so
okay, so you don't know now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm anticipating to get a few more forms on that day. Yeah.
Is this going to be an exceptional year with more requests, do you think? Or, I mean, we've heard through the year about how issues have come up and families are having tougher times than they thought they were going to have at this point in time. Could we be looking at a 5% increase, 10% increase in the number of kids looking for toys?
It's unfortunate, but I think we will
You
be
think you will?
looking at
Yeah.
an increase. Yeah.
Because I mean, every time you hear a report on what's going on, we've got more homeless, we've got more families in stress, and the needs just keep piling up, and so it stands to reason that when it comes to the Christmas season, those toys aren't going to be under the tree if there is a tree. And in many cases, there isn't a tree, but we'd like to still see the toys.
Well, and that's the big thing. It's and a lot of times you don't realize you might have a therapist working with the child. Okay, so the child might not be in Women Helping Women or one of the other social service agencies, but the therapist knows firsthand this child is going to go without. So by collaborating, we've worked with a lot of therapists, which aren't partners in Maui United Way. So they're getting a different group of people coming in also that they're going to be able to fulfill the needs,
Right.
for some of these kids that they're saying, well, I know, even the schools, we have school teachers that know a child's going without. And they'll contact and say, hey, is there any way
Right.
we know this kid's not going to get anything for Christmas?
What about like the foster parent program? Are there requests from some of the foster parents for help with?
With the Friends, because of confidentiality issues, we handle the courts, victims of crimes, children, or abuse, and the foster care program. So McConnor and I are working on that, but because of confidentiality,
Right.
that's something the Friends has to still maintain a control over that.
Okay. But it is covered.
Oh, yeah. That's why the Friends. That's why
yeah.
the Friends started their toy drive
Right.
by the Rotarians. I mean, 25 years ago. This is our anniversary, and that was a big thing. They started getting just for the foster children and kids that were in the system. So, so we've already started filling some of them, haven't we?
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's just I'm poking out there trying to find is there a puka that we haven't covered?
No. Again, the collaboration is huge because there were pukas. You
Right.
know what I mean? So sit down and strategize and come up with a plan. And it's great having Makana because, like I say, my job goes on. So it's like to have someone just focused on this for the entire time is going to make sure it's efficient, it's strategic, and then we are going to fill all these children's orders.
Right. Wow. It's a tall order.
Yep.
She's smiling though.
She is. She's looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Now these gifts, when they're left in the boxes for you guys, are unwrapped.
Unwrapped.
Because if they're wrapped, you're going to have to take that wrapping off to make sure it's an appropriate toy, right? Do you shy away from things that need like batteries and cords to plug in and all this kind of stuff? I mean, does that make a difference?
I've noticed a lot of them donations have the batteries
Okay.
included with them. So the donor will actually buy the batteries and
Right.
attach them to the toy. So that really
That's
helps.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Friends has a big donation of batteries, so if they don't have them, we can take the batteries right onto the packages.
Yeah. I can think of nothing worse than getting a present
And you can't play with it right away.
and you have no way of getting the batteries. Okay, so that's covered. What else? What else do we need to cover? Help me out here.
I just think making a difference in a child's life. I mean, we go on our busy days, and a lot of us aren't exposed to the issues that we have with the children here on the islands. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, you wouldn't have exposure unless you were in that environment where we are with the social service agencies. So just, if you want to make a difference for $11 at Ross to buy a $20 toy or whatever it may be, I mean, I've attended a lot of the gift giving to the children's in shelters. And last year, and I get emotional over it, I watched a 4-year-old kid get one gift from Santa Claus. Okay, his whole life's been turned upside down by domestic violence, and starts jumping up and down, saying, this is the best Christmas I've ever had. Okay? He's in a shelter. But you know what? I looked at it that way at first, and I'm like, he's safe. He knows he's okay. There's no chaos, there's no turmoil. And so that is huge to watch that happen, because who knows what happened to that child
Right.
last Christmas,
Right.
So.
How long it's been since he last felt safe
Right.
and so forth. We got to take another break, and we'll be right back.
Aloha, this is Paul from Pacific Source. We'd like to wish everyone the happiest of holidays and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and Lock and Tina folding doors. Maybe you can give your home a holiday gift that you'll love. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380 or look us up online at packsource.com.
Gotta get my brain around it.
Gotcha. And we were jump starting Paul's brain here again on after a break. Yeah, you got to do something about that. You got to. He's got a dog that's ill and is giving him sleep deprivation because the signs of the illness the dog has come out at night, and Paul's having a problem here, kind of trying to stay awake during the day and focus. But
doggy dementia is what they call it. Oh, canine dementia. I looked it up and I Googled it. We believe that until the vet confirms it, but it's sad getting old.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you got to get him to a vet, because I know it's first thing I did when I thought my dog was headed that way was go to the vet, and he couldn't find any signs of it in the brain scan that he did and so forth. So we started looking for other explanations. Mm-hmm. And we were fortunate enough that there was another explanation for it. We took care of that issue, and he's doing great. Love it. Oh. And he's 15.
Yeah.
But he's a little guy, and I've heard people say they've had the little guys like him for 20 years. So
yeah, they live longer.
Yeah.
We rescued another member of Maui Nonprofit Directors Association, Maui Humane Society,
right.
but
now that's where mine came from too. Yeah.
Rescue dogs, we got a German Shepherd, 2 of them, so they tend to not live as long, but he's 13 years old, so.
I never could understand it. The bigger the dog, the less life they have.
Yep.
But I guess there's a reason for that.
It's harder carrying themselves around, I guess.
Yeah, there's only so much their system can do and handle over time. So I guess I think we've kind of talked the gift giving. Yep. As much as we can. We got you guys on board. Let's give the phone number. I don't think we've done that. The phone number for Maui United Way is
244-8787.
Easy one to remember. 244-8787. Call and ask for Makana.
Yep,
and
ask for me.
And she can give you the answers to all the questions you have about what kinds of gifts are appropriate and where the locations are. Are we going to be seeing ads for this? Or I know you mentioned radio spots are out. But basically, if you think about Ace Hardware, you've got that pretty well covered. The Hawaii National Bank in Kahului. I'm looking for the spot-on places that people can just pull into.
Bank of Hawaii Kahalui's put up a box.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Joan Martin.
Okay.
There's a box there.
That needs to get added to the list.
Yep.
So, and they can call you and ask you for a place if they've got their routine where they go. You can tell them what's close by.
They're more Kihei oriented. Sorry. Then you can definitely go to those Kihei locations and Lahaina as well, since it is further from town. We have 2 locations in Lahaina as well. We have one at the Sheraton Maui Resort and Spa as well. So you could leave it with the front desk and they can donate it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So there's no excuse for not dropping off a toy.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
There's a place close by. Again, the number is 244-8787 for Maui United Way and for
986-8634. And you can actually drop them at the locations too. Mm-hmm. The Friends of the Children's Justice Center is in the Mill Yard at 1773 Willie Powell Loop in Wailuku. And your address is?
270 Ho'okahi Street in Wailuku, the Wailuku industrial area.
And usually easier to find parking at Maui United Way than it is at the Friends of the Children's
Yeah, it's a
Justice
little
Center.
difficult, but if you're just dropping off a toy, everyone pulls up to the door,
pull up to the
or
door and
comes
drop it
in,
off.
drops it
That's
off,
fine.
and runs out.
And races out.
Yeah, so,
There you go. You don't need to find a parking spot. Cool. Okay, so anyone out there who feels the urge to do something you've not done before, go buy a gift if you haven't done it before. You don't know who's getting it, right? You can say what organization you'd like for it to, a person from some organization, but you're not going to know who's getting it. And you're not. Does anybody ever get a thank you?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. From the child.
Children,
or
yeah.
The children write out a thank you.
They write out thank you cards.
Cool.
It's
Yeah.
encouraged, actually.
Okay.
And some amazing cards, that come back from the kids because they draw them themselves or and
Okay.
stuff like that. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Okay, so you do get a thank you. And it's probably a more heartfelt thank you than maybe a lot of people you're giving gifts to, because we kind of get into the gift giving, and we kind of get to the point where it's just a thing we do. And some people put a lot of thought into it. Some people don't put hardly any thought into it. But here's one that's going to make a difference in somebody's life. And I think that one can even take that and go a little further with that and say, you don't know what a difference truly in their life it's going to do.
It's funny you say that because you think about it. These children, someone's bringing something positive to them. So they're being exposed to something different. You know what I mean? So your one gift will definitely have an impact on a child and the way the child thinks. Because they now know someone cares. You know,
Right.
someone cared about me for Christmas. No one cared last year, whatever the situations might be. So that is a huge impact to have on a child.
Good thinking.
Because a lot of times they don't think someone, because of their environments
cares?
or whatever.
Who cares about me?
situation, right? No one seems to care about me,
Yeah.
So
I'm being dragged from this to that to this
right,
situation, and who cares about me? Well,
Yep.
here's somebody cared enough to buy you a present.
yep. Someone you don't even know.
Right. Tremendous.
Yeah.
Tremendous. So please, let's fill up these boxes, and let's have the toys, and if Makana's right, and we've gonna have 5% or more gifts to give. I mean, gifts to be received. Then we need to give more gifts so that they can cover them all. And the last thing we want to hear the day after Christmas is we had 20 kids we couldn't give presents to. I'd venture to say I'll bet you guys have got a list of people who would run out and buy something really quick if you let them know that you needed
Well,
20 more
we have budgets for it actually.
for the
So part of
for
our
needing-
donations that come in during the year is earmarked to do that as like gift cards.
Yeah.
We're not going to get the 300 or 400 gift cards we're going to give out. That's $8,000 if you're buying $420 gift cards. So right there is it's budgeting, and we're sharing our budgets together to make sure, again, like we talked about, that no child is not going to go without a toy this year. It's,
Okay.
guaranteed.
Guaranteed, and you got that from Paul
Guaranteed.
Tonneson.
Yeah, I
Gary,
will
Gary, make a
guarantee
note
it.
of that.
Even if I'm shopping myself on Christmas Eve out of my own pocket. No, this collaboration, it's ensuring that,
Right.
and that's the whole thing. And Susie, with Maui Nonprofit Directors Association, collaboration's huge.
Right.
When you join forces, you get more things done.
Right. I'm sitting here and I'm watching Paul say this, and I'm thinking he doesn't want to go shopping on Christmas Eve to fill these last few gifts that need to be given, but he will.
Yeah.
That's the support behind all of this, is that between Makana and Paul, you guys want to make sure those gifts are out there and those kids are getting them.
Yes.
I'm laughing because last night after my board meeting at 6 o'clock, I had to go to Target up Puanene, and there was a long line, and I got to Target, and I said, good. I said, I'm avoiding this place until after December 20th. Coming up Puanene, that whole area, it was just so funny. And I was like,
Yeah.
But I know I'll have to be down there soon.
Is the parking lot getting full out there?
Target was jammed last night.
Was it really?
It was jammed.
No, why was that?
Good
It's not
Thanksgiving, because they have a food, actually, they have the produce area and all that.
Oh, people
So
shopping.
I would
for
assume,
the, for
because
food
they
for-
carry food.
Okay,
I would assume that was part of it.
interesting.
Then
Interesting.
another thing to touch on
Okay,
is we have our Hyundai tournament coming up.
that's the
which-
golf tournament.
The golf tournament. It's January 6th through the 10th, and we always need volunteers. So if you calculate it, it's about, if you do a 5 to 6 hour shift as a volunteer, you're giving us about $400 to $500 in revenue back. Because I don't know if you're familiar with Hyundai, but they have 7 charities, and the proceeds go back to the charities in Maui County. And it's huge. So always looking for people to help out. We work inside the concession tents, or we park cars where you can watch whales all day. And it's at Kapalua. It's up at the plantation course. So definitely Paul at Maui, and then CJC, like Charles John Charles.org, or 986-8634. We're always looking for volunteers. It's a lot of fun. You get to watch golf. Get to take a road trip to Lahaina or Kapalua. So that is how these Christmas drives work, and the same as your tournament that you guys do every year. These are the things that bring in the revenue, so we can do our Christmas programs and different programs throughout the year. So
Tremendous. Now, you're talking about just individuals who want to help.
individuals, we have
They don't have to be related to any organization. Or
we have Alpha Delta Kappa, Alpha Delta Gamma. We have like retired school teachers that come and have a fun day together. We have individuals that just want to sign up, and we fill the people hours. I no longer call them man hours.
Gotcha.
The people hours every year, and it has a tremendous impact back to the Maui community from the 7 different agencies. Cameron Center being one of them, that houses quite a few nonprofits. So.
Right.
It's a great benefit, even if you're not volunteering for the Friends, and there is one of your agencies that is involved. Naturally, I want you to volunteer for me. It takes less stress off. But if you're involved with the Cameron Center, or if you're involved with Hale Makua or whatever, they always need the people there to help them assist.
Right. Now, what you mentioned about parking cars, and some of it's hard work.
Parking the cars are not. We have what they call parking lot P. It's on the property, so it's one of the lots of those mansions that are up there, and it's for VIP parking. So it's not that difficult. You do a little bit extra, but it's not a huge parking lot. But I've done it when I was on my board rather than the executive director, and you can sit when it's quiet. You can look out into the horizon and watch the whales playing. And so one
Makes
year,
it sound like fun, doesn't it?
it is fun. People usually two friends will do it, or couples, like Dr. Kepler on my board and his wife Lou will do it, and they bring a lunch and chairs, and they just make a day of it. They're 5-hour shifts, so we try to break them up. Some people do a whole day of the 10-hour shifts, but we just ask if you can commit 5 hours to it.
Okay. And this is again the dates?
January 6th through the 10th.
Okay.
It's in Kapalua at the plantation course, and they can email me, Paul, at MauiCJC, childrensjusticecenter.org, or 986-8634. We've been very fortunate to have a lot of volunteers. This is the 17th year, and the Friends have been one of the benefits from day one, which is nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And that's the first tournament of the year.
Yes, it's the opening tournament for the United States.
Okay.
And then they go to the Sony right after that
On Oahu.
on Oahu.
Do you, and this starts early in the morning every day?
7 to 12, 12 to 5.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Very good.
I
Very
get to
good.
work every day.
Very good.
It's fun, I'll tell you. Everyone that comes, they just bring a bunch of friends or whatever. We had Job Corps come with 10 people last year, and they
Interesting.
had a
Yeah.
pizza day, and they just had great, it was a nice different atmosphere for them for a day out. So very grateful to Robert, again, Maui Nonprofit Directors
There you
Association,
go.
right?
Right.
To
right.
collaborate and bring in
Right.
his students to make a difference for the Friends. So
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So what's the first thing that happens in the new year for Maui United Way? Oh, you just finished a year.
she's not even getting. She's like, I gotta get through
Hello,
Christmas.
I'm lost in the Christmas boxes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. One thing you've got on your website, which I find interesting, from time to time I check it out, is your events. All the events that are going on in town, and like as we lead into Christmas, it's really busy.
Yep.
But like you've got Elf is in there, and there's a concert I think this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I know you don't give me that panic look. I'm not going to ask you to tell me what's on there, because if you could tell me all those things, then Locks would have to watch out because you'd be in line to take her job, and I wouldn't expect anybody to be able to do that. But just I just took a quick look, and of course you got the Fourth Friday Kihei Party, an evening was of Spirit with Jamie Van Praagh. You've got Elf the Musical. You've got the Maui Choral Arts. That's what I was thinking of. Christmas Bells concert coming up this weekend. But folks, take a look at the MauiUnitedWay.org website and go to the events calendar and take a look at it. It's I would venture to say it's probably pretty accurate with all the different things that are going on, and some things that you don't find listed perhaps in other places you'll find on that calendar. So that was just something that I took a look at. And I know you've got all kinds of things scheduled for next year, but it's a new year.
Yeah.
And let's finish this one first,
Yeah.
right? And keep up the great work, Makana, for
Thank you.
getting these gifts out. Paul, for collecting them and getting them out to everybody. And folks, please, if you can, give a gift to someone who would not get one without your help. Again, the number for Maui United Way is 244-8787. For Friends of the Children's Justice Center, I can't even say it. Friends of the Children's Justice Center, you're looking at
68634.
There you go. It's that time of year. Tomorrow, everybody's getting ready. We talked about the crowds at Target
Yeah, last
and the
night.
grocery store, and probably all the stores today because nobody's working. I think everybody took today off to get ready for tomorrow, and then a lot of places are taking Friday off to recuperate from tomorrow. So from all of us here, we'd like to say happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. And somebody asked me one time, the people that you work with, how can you wish them a happy Thanksgiving? And because we keep talking about the needs are so great out there and so on and so forth. But somebody explained to me one time, everyone has something to be thankful for. Whether it's just being here, just being on Maui, just being alive, whatever it is, be thankful for it. Some lists are long, some lists are short. But there is something to be thankful for. And let's take just a moment tomorrow to say thanks for what we've been given. Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Give Paul and his staff a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom located in the Waikapu Bayshard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors, their organizations, and the community of Maui. Please visit our website at mauinonprofit.org for a list of member agencies. And if you find one there that you are interested in getting involved with, please go to their website and check them out. Again, today we visited with the Friends of the Children's Justice Center and Maui United Way, talking about the toy drive. Please pick up a toy and give to one of the kids out there who without you may have nothing. Mahalo for tuning in, and don't forget to join us again next week right here Wednesday at noon on KAOI Radio 1110 AM, 96.7 FM, and 96.5 FM on the west side, when we'll be featuring representatives of two other member agencies of the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association. Until then, I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific and host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. Thank you all for joining us today. Have a great week and happy Thanksgiving. Aloha.